is handy, resting on the ground, let it rest. Little step touch with a little bit of arm movement. Make those bigger arms, get some roundness through your upper back and some squeezing through there. And then sweep those arms side to side, big sweeps, swing low and swing high. Start moseying your way towards your book. And then turn that step touch into a step up and down. Step up and down. Do more like that. And then just step touch. You're gonna be on the other side of your book eventually. I guess I should have put it in the center. So mosey your way to the other side of the book. Get ready to step touch nearby, and then turn it into a step up. More. Beautiful. Behind your book, just step touch. Little bicep curl. Bring that step touch in, make it a step tap on your book. Turn that tap into a step up and down, up, down, down. Pump those arms if you want. If your book is more narrow one way, you need to move it, that's fine. Thank you for joining us. 2 more on this leg. And then you're going to tap down and switch up, come up with the other foot. There's 2 more here. Beautiful. Bring that book back to the center of your mat. And we're step touching. And then step knee lift. And then we'll turn that knee lift into a hamstring squeeze. And maybe you add that rowing movement through your shoulders. And then turn that into a leg extension with an arm extension. Head back to your step touch. Then give me 4 knee lifts. 4 hamstring curls. 4 extensions. Step up twice. Knee up twice. Hamstring curl 2. And extend for 2. And now just 1 of each, step up, knee up, curl, and extend. We're going to do that again, step up, knee up, curl, and extend, and you're going up and over to the other side, starting with a step touch. And then knee, hamstring curl, and extension. tap it back up. And then give me 4 knees. Or curls. Or extensions. Two tap ups. 2 knees. 2 curls. 2 extensions. 1 of each. And one more time, 1 of each, tap it up, knee lift, hamstring curl, and extension. Woo! Up and over, first side, just give me that, or not first side, just straddle your book, hands on your thighs, roll through a cat, inhale through a cow, move through that spine, keep that going for me, please. And then this time, drop that right shoulder in, look over your left, roll through a cat, inhale through a cow on that angle, come back to center, press that left hand, and then roll cat, inhale cow, big deep breath in, and relax. All right, starting back on that book, your right foot is on the book, left toes are off. We're gonna hover that foot so it's even in line with the book. Bend the right knee ever so gently. Sorry, you're not gonna do that. Barely tap the left heel and then straighten the right leg. Tap and straighten, tap and straighten. So it's a very tiny move. You're just getting that last degree of bend in that right knee. You should feel it in your right quad. Try not to push off the left leg. Do whatever you want with your arms or just hang, let them hold out, whatever you want. Yes, you can do the chicken, Carol. 4 more like this. Good. Now cover that foot. Let your right hip move to the right and then squeeze it under. So remember, this little hip lift is all about that hip tucking under. My left leg might be moving, but it's only moving because I'm tucking under at the right, right? So I'm not actually lifting and lowering that leg. You should start to feel that one pretty quickly in the outside of that right hip. Good, just 4 more. And step off, cross that right leg over the left, up and over you go, push the hips to the right, get a nice stretch here, widen your stance, bend your knees, hands on your thighs, roll cat, inhale cow. Arm up and over and across you go. So now our left foot is on the book, right foot is hovering. We're going to bend that left knee and tap the right heel down without really putting any weight on it. Up and down you go. Using that left knee bend and straighten to get the work here. Almost there. And then hover that foot. Let the hip shoot out and pull it under you. Let it go out and pull it under, out and under. So again, this is all about that left hip tucking under. Even though the right foot moves, that's not what it's about. Do what you need to help yourself balance. Ow. 2 more. Whoa, step off. Woo. Left crosses right. Up and over you go. Hips press the other way. All right. Straddle that book so you can pick it up. Wide stance with your legs, toes turned out. Palms are under the book. Shoulders back and down. Bend your knees, little plie, and come up. Adding onto your plie when you're ready, extend your arms and get them straight, right? So at the very end, you want to straighten those elbows. You have the option to stay flat-footed or to come up onto tippy toes, work your balance, or to come down and then switch it, either heels down and then toes up, or toes and then heels. Totally up to you. A couple more here. Last two. Last one, sit into it, elbows in tight, serve the platter, back, serve the platter, back, serve the platter, leave it there. Bend the book to you, drop it, up, down, tiniest move, it's your elbow doing this, right? Tiny move, straight, bend, straight, straight, good. Beautiful. You should feel this in your biceps pretty quickly. 2 and 1, bring that up, woo, shake it out. Left arm opens, palm flexes to get a bicep stretch here. Shake that out, right arm, same thing. Beautiful. All right, look back down on the ground, please. Right foot back on top. So we have 3 points and a fourth point. We're going to add an extra point. So we're just going to, this will make sense in a minute. Bend that right knee, step forward with your left. Bend and straighten. Again, quad and glute. We just need to do 2 more of these. Good. And we do the same thing to the side, reach to the side. Arms can stay, they can do port de bras movement. 2 more. All right, this is the one straight to the back, abs in, reach back, bend that knee. You can always add an arm lift to add a little intensity. You'll feel that a little bit more in your right glute. Even though you're hinging forward, try not to fold, right? So try not to break at the waistline. 2 more. Good. All right. Next angle is our little curtsy and up. Curtsy and up. If that's annoying to you, don't make that foot go far. If you're okay with it, think about moving that foot as far to the right as you can. 2 more. All right, now that you are pre-fatigued, here comes the fun angle. Turn your right foot out just a little bit. Left leg is on the diagonal from it. You're gonna reach back, stretch it back, drag the toes in slowly. Reach back, stretch it back, drag the toes. So this should all be on that right glute and right hip. Yes? I hope so. Good. Straighten that back leg, straighten that back leg. Don't put weight on it, drag it in though. Reach it, drag it in. Just 2 more. Ow. Good. Last time, reach back, drag it in. Here's some good news. I know we have another side. Bring your chair into the picture. Sit on it. Take that right leg, cross it over. Woo, a nice figure 4 stretch. We're going to play with this for a second so you get a really good stretch. Bring your hands behind you, lift yourself up and push your hips back. Ow. That should increase that stretch. Not ow, but feel it a little more intensely. And see if you could lift that ankle up just a little bit. And then finally, you're going to cross that leg over and you're going to press it away. You can do a little rotation if you want. And then back to center. That side should just feel awesome now. Okay. So now we are up on the book with our left foot. And we're going to start with that little toe tap forward. Again, arms can stay here. They can be out here. You can move with the movement. All these other 3 angles are just warm-ups for the big one. Last 2. And last 1. Now we're going to move to the side. Good, then we go straight back. Remember, you want to pull those abs in, bend into that left leg, reach back. Hands can go up a little or a lot, one arm or both. Just two more. And then we have our curtsies. All right, now we're gonna step down, turn that foot out on the angle, and then turn the right foot out on the same angle. Reach back as far as you can, drag it in. Oh, I even moved the mat. Reach back, drag it in. More. Bring that up. Woo! We get that lovely stretch again. So sit forward in your chair, cross your left leg over the right, and sit nice and tall. If you want to increase that stretch a little, give yourself a little dip, push the hips back, and in that beautiful hinge, not a rounding, that should increase it. You might even try lifting that ankle up a tiny bit, and then cross all the way over and pivot. Come on back through center. You'll need your chair again, probably the back of it, the high height. Okay, so left hand is on the chair. Left leg is forward. Book is, you're going to school in your right hand. Left knee has a tiny bend in it, and we're just going to work that jumping bird to start with, right? You should feel that kind of in your left hamstring a little bit. Then you're going to drop the right arm and pull back. Drop and pull back. So a little bit of rear deltoid here. However you want to hold your book is fine. Two more like this. This time, you're going to stay over. You're going to bend that knee a tiny bit and straighten, and then you're just going to add a little squeeze of the shoulder blade at the same time. Knee bends and straightens, shoulder blade pulls back. It's not a bend of the elbow, it's a straight arm, straight arm, straight arm. It comes straight up, not behind you, straight up. Lift to the sky, not behind you. There you go. Good. Two more. Woo! All right. Take that hamstring that you just worked, step out, press back. Roll those toes up, roll them down, and bring it up. And we'll do the other side. I'm going to stay facing this way. It doesn't really matter so much. So this time your right leg is forward, left leg is back. You just start with that dunking bird. When you're ready, you want to add that deltoid lift, that little rowing motion. Two more. Good. This time we tip over. We're going to bend the knee and straighten, and then you just add that little squeeze. So all I'm doing is pulling my shoulder blade up towards the other one. And bring that up. Woo! The leg that you just worked, you're going to step out with that hamstring or that foot. Push back for a hamstring stretch. Roll those toes up. Bring them down. And then come back up again. All right. We're gonna move that book to the center of our mat again. We're gonna walk a little forward so you can get your tippy toes up on there. And then you're gonna come out into a full push-up position, regular push-ups, but toes are up on that book. And you're just gonna give me a few push-ups. Head in line with your spine, abs in, feet together on the book. I guess they don't have any choice. And then tip your hips up when you feel done. I felt done. Walk it back if you're still going, that's fine. Put your right hand at center. Bring that left arm up, left leg is straight, right knee is bent. Replace, put your left hand here, right arm goes up. Woo, center it up, roll through cat. Inhale through cow, one more time, cat. And one more time, cow. And then grab your book on the way up. All right, we're gonna head to the ground. You won't need your chair, but you will need your book, please. And we're actually gonna sit up on that book to start with. Just a quick little round of our lovely quads. We've done a lot of quad work, so we're just gonna kind of isolate just that last little bit. Bring your left knee in, sit tall. Bring your right leg out to the side and rotate so you see that seam of the pants. We're gonna work that smaller muscle. Lift up, point the toes, bring in, flex, bring out. Point in, flex out, point in, sit tall, flex out. Pointing and flexing, two more like that, point and flex. Point and flex, leave it here, bend the knee, press, 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 point the toe, press, 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 come back to center, bend and press, 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 flex and press, press, press. All right, see, I promised it was minimal. Scoot so your left hip is still on the book and your right hip drops off. And you should start to see that your hips can even up, and then you're gonna glide over to that left elbow, push that knee behind you, get that stretch down your quad. Stay there for me for a second, please. And then open to the back of the room. Come back up, roll it, close it down, and then lift up, and we'll scoot. So that now our left leg is off to the side, right knee is hugged in. Sit nice and tall, roll that leg, point the toes, bring it in, flex out. Point in, flex out, point in, flex out, couple more. Pointing and flexing, one more, point, flex, bend and stretch. With it to the side, 3, 2, 1, point and reach, 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 center, flex, push, 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 point and press, press, press. Ah. All right, shift. So your right hip is on, left leg is off, and press that leg behind you as much as possible. Arm up and over and open to the back. And close it down. All right, that should have given our heart rate a little chance to come down before we head down onto our spine. As you do so, just take a moment and hug those knees in. Maybe stretch that right leg out and hug the left knee in a little extra. And then switch it up. And then bend both knees for me. Put that book on your left hand, palm up. Right hand across your ribs, deep breath in. Exhale with a ha sound and pull those ribs down. Arm goes by your ear, feel that stretch on your tricep. Feel those abs having to work to keep everything there. And then up, down and up. Keeping the ribs solid so you're working those abs a little. Adding on, arm goes overhead, we bend, we straighten, we come up. Up and over, bend, straighten and up. Up and over, bend, straighten up. And then up and over we go, bend and straight, 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 straight. 3, 2, 17, 84, 1, and relax. If you turn your palm towards you and put it on the ground, you can start to get that tricep stretch. You can play with bringing the foot, or excuse me, the hand closer and further away. See where you get your tricep stretch. If the shoulder lifts up, try and put it back down. And then we'll move that book to our right hand, left hand on the ribs, deep breath in. Exhale, pull those ribs down as the arm goes overhead and then back up. But we're going to maintain those ribs down the whole time. And then we bend and straighten and come up. I might have been doing that already, sorry. And then leave that arm overhead, just bend and straighten, straighten, straighten. And relax. Again, that palm can go down on the ground, fingers facing you, play with where you're going to get that best stretch. And then bring that book behind your head for me. Fingertips are just on the edges of the book, so we're not pulling on our neck. Deep breath in. On the exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground, but try and keep your elbows open so we can feel that beautiful stretch across the chest. And then we'll lift up a little higher so the elbows come up a little higher. You can extend the arms overhead, support your head, elbows wide. Exhale down very gently. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift, reach, back, support, gentle lower. Lift, reach, center, gently down. Option. Lift up, reach, center, hold, reach, center, hold. Totally up to you, or you can add the back, the up and down movement. Or your neck is bothering you, you're going to lie down and just extend that book overhead. You could even go to that position we had a minute ago with your palms under the book. A couple more of whichever version you're doing. And then hug those knees in. And while they're there, see if you can squeeze that book between the knees and lift them into tabletop. Arms out into a T position. You're going to let your knees move to the left as far as you feel like you can go and come just to center. You're going to move left and center. Bigger isn't necessarily better, right? And then come back to center. Same thing, we're going to move to the right and center. To the right and center. Two more. And relax, put the feet on the ground. Oh, let that book rest on your rib cage for a moment, giving us that kinesthetic feedback as we go into toe touches. Chin nods, yes. Legs are in tabletop. As you know, option is to do a single leg toe touch. You could do a single leg heel flex. You could squeeze both legs together and do your toe touch. Both legs heel flex. Or even pivot the knees open in a little froggy position, Pilates V with your feet. Final option, legs go straight, either a single leg Single leg heel flex, double leg. Book is staying nice and stable. Next one, whoo, hug those knees in. Take a little rock side to side. All right, big challenge here. This is the first option. If it doesn't work for you, next option. Bring your thighs and your chest to squeeze the book. So that's going to be your goal, so that when you rock, you don't go, oops, like that, right? So you're going to try and keep that book. It'd be nicer if the book was thicker, right? If that's not working at all for you, your second option is to put the book at your ankles. And of course, if you don't do rolling like a ball, life is good for you right now, because this is terrible. All right, and next time you come up, go ahead and stay up, and we're gonna come back up on our book again. Sitting up nice and tall, legs out. Pull those glutes out from under you, so you're sitting very tall on those sit bones. Legs are wide. Give yourself a gentle hinge forward. Then you can maybe push yourself further into it. You could start to gently straighten out those legs a little, lifting and hinging. All right, while the book is there, we're just going to slip it out from under us so we can rotate over onto our side. We get to do clams with the book, always super fun. So stack your knees, your ankles, and your hips. Put the book on the top leg and just put your hand on top of that. Pivot the toes apart, toes apart, heels together. Press open in your clam and close. Open and close. Now leave it open and give me a little pulse. Then close the knees, lift the heels, open and close full range with the heels in the air. And then leave it open and pulse. All right, listen up. The leg that you just worked is going to cross over the bottom leg, and then we're going to slide that book underneath the hip that was lying down, right? Hopefully that makes some sense. I had to reformat a little bit. So now, as I'm sitting here, the leg I just worked, that hip is going to drop, but I'm going to give myself some support, and then I'll pull that knee across. So what we're getting to do here is not this, which is what people usually do, completely roll out of that stretch. So let the hip drop, but then pull across. It should give you that stretch all the way across. And then you get to roll onto that side. So we can clam on this side. Arm is underneath your ear, hips are stacked, knees are stacked, heels are stacked. Pivot open when you're ready. And then leave it open this time, give me a pulse. Close the knees, lift the heels, open and close. Full range. Leave it open and pulse. And relax. Ooh, all right. Put the book down on the ground. You know where you're going to be headed with that. Straighten out your bottom leg, bend your top leg, cross it over, and then scoot yourself so that just that bottom hip is on the book, and the other one is hanging out. And then pull it across, but keep this hip down, right? You can lift it up a little bit, but you don't want to roll off of it. So I'm going to let it drop into space as I pull it across. Hopefully you guys can feel this. That's really nice stretch. And then all you're gonna do is scoot that book to the bottom of your mat for our side planks on the book. Straighten out your body, protect your shoulder, push back, lift up out of it, engage those lats, and come up into your side plank on the book. A little extra challenge. You could even play with, can I lift my top leg without the hip sinking? And gently come down. Let's go ahead and just do the other side, please. Straighten out those legs, elbow under your shoulder, chest lifts, lats engage, bring it on up. Stay there, or again, see if you could lift that leg without dropping the other hip. And gently come down. We're just going to pivot over, put those toes up on the book, elbows right underneath your shoulder. Bring yourself into that plank on the book, please. Ten more seconds. And relax. Woo! If you'd like, you can put that book on your heels. Give yourself a little extra space here as you go into your shelf stretch. And come on forward. Walk your hands ahead so we can undulate through a cow-cat. And then grab your book, slide it out in front of you onto the floor, please. So straighten out both legs, lift your kneecaps, but all 10 toenails are on the ground, head in line with your spine, deep breath in. Exhale, press into the book, and then slide it back the tiniest bit. Hopefully you have a surface that this works on. If it doesn't, your other option would be to actually grab the book and flip it to you and back, and flip it and back. So whichever one works for you. Just a couple more. And relax. Just windshield wiper those legs side to side. And now we're going to take that book, put it back on our sacrum, and the palms are going underneath it. We've mentioned before the shoulders roll forward in this position. So lift those shoulders up by squeezing the shoulder blades together. Deep breath in, exhale, stretch, reach, lift, and gently come down. Inhale, exhale, stretch, reach, lift, and reach. Exhale down, continuing, inhaling, exhaling to lift, inhaling at the top to hold, and exhale down. And relax. All right. So we're going to try this one. This is the one that sometimes is a little slippery with your book. If you can tuck that book behind your right leg, so heel and hip as close together as possible, at least it's a little safer than when we do it standing. Find a neutral spine, abs in, ribs in, back of the neck is long, and then you're either gonna poke a hole in the ceiling, or if you're able to flex your foot without losing the book, you can do that. Or you could alternate point and flex. Doesn't need to be full range. As a matter of fact, a smaller range would be great. Almost there. And relax. All right, move that book over behind your left. Squeeze it nice and tight. Find your neutral spine, point or flex or alternate. And relax. All right. We will stretch out those hamstrings as we lie down. Left foot stays on the ground. Foot goes behind the right leg. Bring it in so your thigh and your ribs are touching. Move it over to the right. Pull it even closer if you can. Now you're just going to flip the book so it's pushing your thigh down, but pressing up against your shin, trying to get it perpendicular. Maybe you can move through that foot a little bit. Then you're going to come to center, slide the book up, bend your elbows, pull yourself closer to that leg, straighten out the left leg, flex through that heel. Come down, bring that book to the outside of the right leg, let it pivot a little bit to the left, and then bend the knee, and you'll get a beautiful hip stretch with the weight of that book. And then bring that back to center, straighten out the right leg, see how that is. Hopefully it feels a little better. Then right ankle crosses the left thigh. You could use the book to rest on the inside of the right thigh to increase that stretch. Then we'll glide that left heel in. We're going to bring the book behind that left hamstring for now. Hug it in. And then extend it up. Flex and point. And then move the book into your right hand. Cross the the knees all the way over. And then drop the knees to the left. Back up through center, bring the book behind the left hamstring, squeeze it in, trying to get the rib and the thigh to touch, bring it over. And then flip it, so you're pushing the knee down and trying to get the shin perpendicular with the ground. And we'll move through that ankle. Slide it up, bring it to center, right foot goes out, flex through that heel, lift yourself up, point, flex, come down. Move that book to the outside of the left hip, and then bend the knee, get that beautiful outer hip stretch. Then you're going to cross it over, let it flip open, and maybe put the book on the left inner thigh. Drag right leg in. If you want to bring the book behind it for a little extra, that's fine. Don't have to. Movement through that right ankle. And then you bring the book to your left hand, crisscross your knees, hug them in, and let them drop right. Then however you want to, if you need to move and stretch a little differently, that's fine. Eventually, you're going to make your way onto your hands and knees, please. And once again, we'll undulate through that cow and that cat. And tuck those toes. You're going to hover for a moment and then press left, back, and up. Walk it out. Bend the knees. Roll through cat. Inhale through cow. Big deep breath in. And curtsy.